You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton, here hanging with you guys, and good morning. Well, guys, we're going to be talking about a week that has been a challenging one for us behind the scenes. It's actually our Friday episode here, wrapping this thing up. And I know I'm going to be coming guns a-blazing Monday once we're kind of back to full strength. But in the meantime, just to be honest with you guys, we have been just Forrest Gumping our way to the finish line. It has been a pretty difficult week behind the scenes. Actually recording this, Liz is unfortunately under the weather, of course. She caught what I had, which was pretty expected. And so I've just had this weird, gnarly head cold flu thing going on. I don't know what it is. It's finally working its way out. It's been about 8 or so days now since I've kind of had the first little symptoms. And it's not the vid, okay, we tested negative and all that stuff, but nonetheless, it's just been a tough go. And so what I wanted to talk about for just a couple minutes on this podcast for as long as my voice maybe holds out is talking about having a great team of guys with you, because I'll tell you what, if it wasn't for them, I would say far less work would have gotten done this week than what has gotten done. And that's kind of an obvious statement, but nonetheless, I mean it. And my guys this week, they have just been carrying the workload. Really, really excited for them. Really, really thankful for them. And even back at the home front, Liz is divided and conquered. She's went one way. A couple days, after she's now under the weather, I have to hold the fort with a couple different things. Namely parental responsibilities, making sure food's ready, the house is still kind of in order. So that's what I wanted to talk about for just a couple quick minutes here. It's just an episode here that's just going to be real talk. We on the moniker for the title, right? It's Lawns, Lessons, Life. Today might be a little bit of a life episode, but I will say this, Monday we're coming in hot because we have some announcements regarding Entrepreneur Academy Live tickets. Those will be going on sale. All things being said, should be Monday evening. So if you guys want to earmark your calendars, that's our live event. I'm really, really excited about that. We're changing up a bunch of different things this year. We took so much feedback from the last couple years. As you guys can imagine, I'm really excited about getting those tickets available on the website. We were hoping to actually drop them this week, as you guys might have heard me allude to earlier this week. But then, just a huge wrench gets thrown into the mix, and I'm a very detail-oriented person, behind the scenes. I'm very perfectionist, so I want to make sure the website looks right. The promo video looks right. The photos look good. For the most part, they're ready to launch on the website, but I haven't been able to, do my checks and balances, so I just don't want to drop those just yet. When you have thousands of people visiting the website, hundreds of people, if not dozens in the first day or two trying to pick up tickets, I just want to make sure everything goes right before we open up that floodgate, if you will. So for all of you guys that have been showing love behind the scenes, man, I don't know what else to say. I mean, I have limited words right now just in general because my lungs feel like they have a wet sponge in them half the time. But I can't say thank you enough to all of you guys out there that have been asking updates, when are tickets going on sale, when's the hotel link available. And I'm not saying one or two, I'm saying dozens of you guys. And so a couple of you guys actually called me. You're like, hey, I know you say don't call, but when the call, I'm just so excited. And I'm not just saying that, that's not me trying to hype it up. I'm just telling you guys, wow, thank you for holding out. Thank you for the reception. I know so many of you guys are excited about Equip and have been using the code. I was talking to the Equip folks. I think our registrations for that are up 20% year over year, which I really appreciate that. If you guys are going to Equip, you guys want to use the Brian's code, awesome. We really appreciate that. It saves you guys 50% at registration. But you can just tell, outside of that event, the groundswell for LAL this year is going to be dope. And so Monday, as you would imagine, I'll drop a whole episode. We're going to talk about everything that's coming, new speakers, new lineups, some different things that we're going to try Sunday morning, an elite little mastermind round table thing with very, very, I'm talking 20, limited tickets. I'm not going to drop the bomb on that just yet, but if you want to get around certain people in a very intimate setting and just remove all the walls, all the barriers, and just want a Q&A forum for 3 hours, that might be coming Sunday morning, okay? So, or Monday morning when we drop that episode. So when those tickets go on sale, we're talking limited quantity. So like I said, it's it's very, very exciting times. All right, so let's do this really quick. I want to talk about just this week in general, man. Just a little recap for you. It's not a woe is me episode, not by any means. We are actually finishing the day strong today and the whole route today. But that's what I wanted to talk about. How do we do 4.5 days worth of work in 3 days with 2 guys? It's just been wild, dude. It's like the numbers don't add up. But you know what? That's what I want to talk about is just when a team comes together, they rally and they do whatever it takes. And so I'm really, really blessed with the guys that we have this year, the team that we put together, and even more so than that, maybe the attitude that the guys are exuding lately. And I really, really do appreciate that. And it's intentional. I can't take all the credit for it by any means. But at the same point, I did want to brag on them and just how this week has been going. All right. So let's do this really quick. Let's kick it over to Marty, Mr. Producer, down in the ATL. I'm going to get a sip of Blood Orange Uptime, and we will come right on back.
Summer showers, dust that chokes, acres that just won't end. Exmark knows the job of a landscape professional isn't an easy one. That's why we've crafted a legendary line of mowers built to overcome any obstacle. So you're ready to close the deal and finish the job, like you always do. Cut from the same red metal as your Exmark mower, you aren't just good at this. You were built for this.
All right, guys, let's just jump right back into it. So this week has been a lot of fun and also very challenging, like I was talking to you guys before we hit the commercials. And so here's the reality. Like I said, on Monday, as you guys would imagine, it was 4th of July. Liz and I really, really did enjoy the 4th of July. I mean, it was one of those things where you guys heard on our Wednesday train wreck episode there that with Liz and I, which we were just were having fun. I told Liz and said, we don't have babysitters right now. I'm in the field. We have so much work to do. I'm like, I need to get an episode out. It's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. She's like, I know. She goes, we got to do something. I'm like, what are we going to do? And we're both going to bed at like 9:00 at night because we're like just literally passing out. As soon as Emmy passes out, we're passing out, right? And so it's one of those deals where we're doing the best we can, right? Well, so Monday though, we did enjoy the 4th of July. Because we just wanted to take some time out for the family, right? We talked about that in the Wednesday episode. So as you can imagine, though, Monday means that all the Monday work goes to Tuesday to Wednesday, Wednesday to Thursday, so on and so forth, right? Just like probably your guys' schedules if you took the day off. Or you end up working a double on Tuesday, a double on Wednesday, something like that. And that's fine too. Like sometimes guys want to work till 6, 7 o'clock, pull forward, pull ahead. They don't want to get things bumped to the weekend. In fact, I've talked about this before on the podcast, man. That was one of my biggest quips with, not equip, right? But one of my biggest quips or issues with working at True Green back in the day was anytime we would work a holiday, it was mandatory that you work the next Saturday. Like they had to get their production out of you, 1,500 gross back in the day for per day. And then I think for the week, it was like $6,200 or whatever it was for the week. And I just feel like I'd rather have just worked the holiday, you know what I mean? Like 6 to 2, because we're out fertilizing lawns back in the day with that business. And so we'd be out there at 6 a.m. fertilizing lawns. Nobody would know. Nobody would care. And you'd finish your route by 2, 3, 4 o'clock if you were fast. So I was always the guy like, hey, let's just work a half day, a 2/3 day. We'll get it all done. Anyway, you guys have heard that story before. So Monday, we come around. It's 4th of July. We take the whole day off. Now we got to work Tuesday through Friday. And all my guys are cool with that. But what happens, of course, it's like the holiday day or the day where we all take off or everybody comes in with a 4-day weekend because it's just a company 4-day weekend. Everybody is agreement. We'll just take a couple extra days and have a little midsummer vacation here. Everybody goes their separate ways and we'll just get the work done the following week. Well, that's when equipment, I don't know if you guys can relate to this next couple minutes, but that's when equipment breaks down. That's when somebody gets sick. That's when somebody gets a flat tire. That's when somebody's girl, their car breaks down, so they have to like drive them to work, so they can't get to work till 9:30. When we're hoping that they're not only at work at 8 o'clock on their regular start day, but they're at 7:30 in the morning to get an early start, right? Like one of those deals. Like this morning, we're actually starting 7:45, a little bit earlier than the normal 8 o'clock start. So anyway, it's funny because Tuesday the guys jump into the rig, they take the truck out, and Rob's not feeling well, right? It's about 11:30. He's like texting me. He already told me the night before. He's like, hey, dude, I don't feel the best. He's like, I'm going to come in. I'm going to pull through, but I don't feel the best. And I'm like, oh, great. And by the way, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I was sick, bro. Like I was out sick cold. And so I'm like, all right, well, it is what it is. I'm texting my other guy, Dom, and Dom's like, yeah, dude, I'm ready to rock and roll. He's like a 10, bro, this whole week. Dom's just been solid. And so solid being like health-wise solid. And so more on that later. And so it's funny because the Tuesday, the guys work till noon. Rob taps out. He's like, dude, I feel sick. It's like 90 out to that day, by the way. Crazy humidity, 80% humidity or whatever they call it. He's not feeling well. That's just miserable conditions for somebody who's feeling miserable, right? Anyway, tap out. He's out that day. Wednesday, I'm like, all right, well, he's like, dude, I ain't going to make it in tomorrow. I'm like, all right, well, I need the truck. So we have to switch trucks because Rob's got the only truck with the only hitch. Now, I have a Rhino hitch that was on order, but I didn't get it in just yet. I actually just got it in yesterday. Whole nother story there. But I didn't have the truck with the hitch, right? So I'm like, do I just go buy a 2.5-inch receiver and just a $50 throwaway hitch? Yes and no. I don't want to spend $50 on that or $80 on that. I want to get my nice Rhino hitch. It's the adjustable drop down one. Some of you guys follow Clint and Rhino hitch on Instagram. Really, really cool hitch. We do have a Brian's 10 code for that. Because if I'm buying it, I'm thinking, hey, other people want to buy it. I didn't want to drop $400 bucks on these things without a discount code. They didn't have any floating around, so I was like, hey, bro, blah 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 blah. So we were able to get a discount code and get that hooked up for you guys. And it's a beefy investment, but it'll be the last hitch and drop you ever buy. So anyway, so Wednesday, I'm trying to get the truck, from Rob that Tuesday night. Finally get it over here. Just inconvenient as hell, but growing pains of a small company. I'm like, we got a nice truck right here, and but I don't have the hitch, and we couldn't get the hitch off because, well, more on that as well later because the salt and the corrosion has rusted the little hitch pin, the lockable one. So anyway, little fiascos, man. So we're trying to like juggle all this. I'm sick, Rob's sick, Liz is like, hey, I'm just holding the fort with Emmy, and it's just one of those days, right? Wednesday, Thursday, we end up mowing. Robin, what was it? On Tuesday, Rob was out. Wednesday, it was Dom and I all day. And then Thursday, yesterday, and by the way, Dom and I, I'm like, hey, Dom, I don't want you to get sick. He's like, hey, I'm going up north this weekend. I can't work Saturday. I'm like, okay, no big deal. Like, we got 3 days to get 4 days worth of work done, right? One of those deals. And I'm like, okay, no, one of my guys can't work Saturday because he's got plans. That's always exciting. And I'm not going to do hey, man, you need to be here. Like, it's not his fault, right? Necessarily. So it's one of those deals where, like, we got to own it. So anyway, just to fast forward through the BS of the week, him and I work on Wednesday. We have a pretty good day. Start getting, like, kind of caught up. We're officially only at least 1 day behind, right? By the end of the Wednesday afternoon because we work till about 4 or 5 o'clock. Thursday comes around yesterday, and here's what I want to talk about was just like the attitude that the guys had. So Rob rallies, comes in, he's like, yo, dude, I'm ready to rock and roll. He's like, I don't feel 100%. He goes, but I can move a 0 turn. I'm like, all right, like one of those deals. And he doesn't have like the same head cold flu that I have. He's got like a stomach bug or something like that. And I'll just leave it at that. You guys can use your imagination. So anyway, Thursday, yesterday, dude, we mowed, I don't even know, bro, like 22 residential on our Tuesday route. And then probably about 3/4 of our Wednesday route, which was another 22 maybe in this one subdivision with the HOA. I know we have about 8 or so left over today that we're wrapping up with 25 Thursdays. So we got about 30, 34 today. And it's just one of those things where like, I'm like, dude, we mowed like 40 some lawns yesterday, just knocking them all out. Now, ironically enough, just to keep everybody safe, and I'm not a big like germaphobe type of person, but nonetheless, I don't want anybody to get what I got. Rob doesn't want to give Dom what he's got. Dom wants to go out of town, hang out with his family on the weekend. So we're all driving separate, bro. It's just like, dude, this is just real life stuff behind the scenes, right? Hopefully you guys can appreciate the honesty, and maybe you guys have ever been through stuff like this with your company, your crews. If you get multiple people working, like you just want to keep people healthy and moving, and you're like, dude, whatever it takes, bro, whatever it takes. Like, hey man, I'll drive separate. Like, can I get $20 for gas? Yes, whatever, that kind of stuff. So it's one of those deals where yesterday, if you can imagine the circus, right? The caravan, 3 of us are like hopscotching with equipment, hopscotching with trucks, hopscotching with mowers, throwing sanitizer everywhere. So we're all like not trying to be germies, but trying to keep ourselves safe, just clean and all that other stuff, just common sense, right? So it's just, it's funny go of it. But I'll tell you what, like here's what I was most impressed with was the team carrying the pole to the finish line or whatever you want to call it. They didn't come in Thursday morning saying, "Hey man, I don't want you to get sick. I don't want to get sick. You don't want to get sick. I want to be done here. I don't want to do this. We're 2 days behind, man. This is all our fault. Like, nobody was like, this is why we should have worked holidays, man. And finger pointing, stuff like that. Like, you guys can probably relate to that. They came in and said, like, Rob came in, he said, dude, I'm going to rally. I'm going to get there early. I'm going to load up, make sure everything's ready to go. And we're going to drive separate and we're going to make this thing happen. And I'm thinking to myself, like, bro, I'm on life support. Like, I'm not doing that hot. I can move a zero turn, but my head's not in the game. I'm like dead weight over here, But I can rock a zero turn. And Dom's like, I can trim, blow, keep everything cleaned up, tidy it up, run the route. Let's roll. So I'm really impressed with that. And that doesn't come like just by default. Like it can if you have good people with great attitudes. That's why you always try to hire great attitudes first, as people say, and then backfill with talent and teaching them things. But it's attitude number one. And so we're like behind the scenes, we're just getting crushed, right? Like home life, Liz is sick, Emmy's sick, Liz is trying to do everything she can there. I'm trying to what? Get out of the rig so I can get home to take care of Liz. I'm like, Liz, there's 100 lawns that have to get cut. Like, there's a lot of work. There's 30 acres of grass, 40 acres of mowing that has to get mowed this week, whatever, right? I'm like, someone's got to do it. It's not like we don't have like we have a small business, a Mickey Mouse business, but at the same point, like it's still a decent sized company where people would notice if we're not there. You know what I'm saying? We have responsibility. We have a real company. We have to get this all done. And so she knows that. I know that. It's one of those things where we have to get it all done, right? So the long story short, what I wanted to just mention was I'm really excited about the attitude that the team had to accomplish all of that, right? It wasn't finger pointing, like I said earlier. It wasn't, man, this is never going to get done. It was, hey, let's work a little bit extra today. Let's get caught up, and tomorrow we'll have another big day where we can rally and just storm the beaches. And you know what? That's what the guys have been doing. And so I just wanted to brag on that and them for a couple minutes here. And that's something that you're always trying to instill into your guys. And I'm not a hero here. It's very, very limited compared to what, I should probably be doing and trying to build teamwork and build teams and camaraderie and, better friendships on the crew. But the guys get along great. They do great work. And it's just one of those things where everybody's got to just pull deep this week, right? From the family life. I told Liz, I'm like, dude, I will drop ship you anything you need for food. We didn't want Grandma and Grams coming over because we don't want them to get sick, obviously. Thank God that they haven't, just so, they're older. The guys got to pull through. I told Dom, I said, dude, well, what happens if we leave a bunch of work left on Friday and it's just Rob and I and you get, the bug and you wake up that morning and you don't feel well? He goes, dude, I don't care, man. I'm coming in on Friday, bro. He's like, we're getting this all done. We're knocking out all the lawns. We're getting you guys all squared up so you can go take care of Liz and rest this weekend. And I was like, dude, like how many hundreds of dollars of bills do you want to give that guy, right? Like you just want to say, dude, thank you. Like, thank you for being strong, being reliable, and rallying to be able to help and to get everything done. And so that's just like two different ways. Like you can look at it with your team, your company, your guys, right? I mean, that's just how I'm looking at it. And it just feels good to know that people have your back out there. Like I said, while we're like burning down behind the scenes with getting the work done, which thankfully we'll have it all buttoned up by today. And then ironically enough, have Saturday off. I don't even know how to explain it. I mean, obviously it's just putting in hard work with, there's, 70, 80 hours of work that has to go into the company this week. And with three guys chipping away at that as best we can. Of course, we're going to knock all that out, but it goes from Tuesday afternoon looking pretty bleak to like, hey, we're probably working a half day Saturday. Hey, we're probably working all day Saturday to, hey, we're actually going to probably get done on Friday. We might even get done a few minutes early on Friday, depending on how well we all rally and get this thing moving. But you know what? Like, I'm really grateful that people didn't just throw in the towel Tuesday or even Wednesday and say, dude, this is never going to get done. It was always dude, we're going to get this all done. We're going to get it all done fast. We're going to get it all done clean, get it all done nice, make sure everything's taken care of, not cutting any corners. And that's just, I guess, the difference in attitude and the difference of having a winning team. And so I can't say that I've been the guy to carry the team this week. There's no way. But I'll tell you what, like Rob rallying to come on in was like the horn, the big like longhorn, the Viking horn, like coming in on Thursday, and he's like, dude, I'm pulling it together. I just needed about 2 days to recover. And Dom's saying, dude, I'm not working Saturday, bro. So we're getting it all done by Friday. And I'm like, okay. And so what does that make me do? It makes me perk up, and I'm like, dude, I'm dragging ass, but I'll pull it all together, and we'll get it all done as well. So I just want to say a public thank you to those guys. They don't listen to the radio show, or to the radio show. Like I'm some old fart, like Kiyosaki. It's funny. Anybody who's like an author or successful before the internet, they've made their millions, right? They hire companies like Mr. Producer, right? And so they're like, hey, we have a radio show, right? Because they're used to like the Rush Limbaugh days and all that. It's like, you mean you got a podcast? Well, yeah, but it's a radio show. Okay, yeah, good for you. So any which way, so thanks for listening to our radio show. But any which way, I don't even know where that the side tangent came from. But any which way, that's what I got just for the work week, the schedule, the crew, everything like that. Family life, ironically enough, we have a bunch of obligations that Liz and I want to partake in this weekend, Saturday, Sunday. We'll probably make half of them because we're just sticklers. We want to do certain things. And the other ones we're like, nah, we don't feel the best. But I'll tell you what, like even behind the scenes, Liz, she's been holding the fort, dude. Like talk about, talk about being sick, dealing with all the stuff that she's got to deal with being a full-time mom. And dude, that is a full-time job. I mean, any husband, any dad will attest to that. So she's holding the fort there. She's like, go work, go do your thing. Like, I know what you got to do. And then to get podcast episodes out, try to do some YouTube videos, all that other stuff. I'm just like, dude, I'm like, and it's not even that we're doing too much on that. It's just, I've actually not done any YouTube videos this week. I think I did 1 or 2, but I was like, dude, I don't even have time for it this week. And that's the cool, forgiving part of a side hustle. Like if it's there, it'll make you money. If you work it, if you don't, it won't make you money, and there won't be growth. And I'm totally fine with that because it's a really forgiving side hustle. And you know why? Because you guys are the side hustle. You guys are the people that make all that happen. And you know what? You guys are the most forgiving people, kind people ever. And so, and that just goes full circle to like, I probably had no less than 20 people ask me, hey bro, our ticket's on sale. Hey man, hope you're feeling better. Hey dude, I actually have had, and this, I don't know if this is confirmation bias or whatever you want to call it, but I probably had 12 to 15 people say, dude, I have exactly what you have as well. And somebody was like, was this all from Together in the Trades? Is this a super spreader event? I'm like, I don't think so. Because I have about 15 other people that have messaged me on Instagram that weren't at the event. They all have the same like weird flu. And then I have 4 or 5 friends from my mother-in-law to family members on her side, Rob's side, and his mom. Other people have the same like weird flu. So I don't know if 3 months from now they'll be like, hey, another strand was released from a lab in Ukraine, and everybody's got this weird flu, and now we need Pfizer to come bail us out for $2 trillion, right? One of those things. But this vaccine just happens to be ready to go in 9 months. Any which way, just having fun here. But well, guys, it's a short and sweet episode today on Friday. I really do appreciate you guys listening in. Here's this, I guess the quick takeaway is, man, have a winning team, have a winning attitude. By the way, here's I guess another big one is, and I've heard other people say this too, but even if it's just like you and a guy or you and 2 guys, if you're really solo, it's just you every day on the equipment, this might not pertain, but make sure you have a system in place for if you are out. I mean, from, a mild flu and you need 2 days off of the rig to you're incapacitated for, 6 weeks or 6 months. Obviously, billing is a whole nother story, but can your guys run the crew? Are they empowered to run the crew? Like, do they have credit cards to get gas for the rigs, to knowing how to sharpen lawnmower blades to keep the mill going, or knowing just to go back up to the dealer to buy fresh lawnmower blades, whatever it takes, right? One of those deals. And so this week, like, Rob's been able to handle the whole route, and Dom's been able to handle the whole route. He knows the rig, he knows the route, he knows what has to get done. My guys know, I don't care what happens, the lawns have to get cut. I don't care what days you do it, I do. I don't care if you work mornings or nights, hopefully in the mornings. I don't care. Your guys' 2 jobs is to get the lawns done, nice, correctly, edge, trim, blow, mow, the whole deal by Friday. I don't care what it takes, right? Wednesdays need to be done on Wednesdays, Thursdays need to be done on Thursdays, so on and so forth, right? But at the end of the day, I don't care if you guys work till, you guys come in at 10 a.m. and you guys work till 8 o'clock at night. Now, I don't give the guys flexibility like this, but you guys know what I'm saying. The expectation is I don't care what it takes, just get it done, right? Like if you guys don't want to work Saturday, totally cool with me. Everything has to be done by Friday at 7 p.m. That means if you don't go to dinner at Outback on Friday night at 7 o'clock with your family because you want Saturday off, that's fine with me. But that's the expectation, that's the rule, that's the job, right? So one thing I just say is, do you guys have those standards, those expectations? Have you empowered your guys enough to do that and start waning off of your business just a little bit? And I'm not like, James Mansky, Elkhorn Lawn Care here with 50 employees and ops people and all that other mess. And, you could take 2 weeks off and go zip around the country, right? I'm not professing to be that or pretending to be that. But nonetheless, even if it's just you and a couple guys, can they run the schedule for at least a week without you, still bringing enough revenue to have double revenue over payroll so you're at least making some profit? I would expect that. I would hope that. I would really encourage that. All right. So that's what I got for you guys today. Short and sweet episode. This might drop a little bit later in the afternoon because I'm getting it up this early morning on Friday. I'm actually feeling a little bit on the upside, so I don't sound like it by any means, but I'm fired up. I'm motivated, and we got a lot of stuff to accomplish this weekend and over the next couple of days. So, guys, long story short, we will look forward to hearing back with all of you guys here on Monday. Hopefully, I'll have a totally different attitude, totally different tone of voice, totally different sounding of my voice as well. Hopefully, we just kick out whatever we have here, and Monday should be a very, very exciting episode, and we're going to go through some stuff with Entrepreneur Academy. I don't want it to just be a 30-minute plug about the live event. I've got some other ideas for the episode as well, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that on Monday, and we'll rally and have a great start to next week as well. So, nonetheless, we got some work to do, don't we? Today, it's Friday. Make sure you guys finish up strong, and wish you guys just nothing but the best. And all of you guys that are headed out this weekend as well, hope you guys, the weather holds off, and you guys are able to get all your lawns done, and things just go smooth with you, especially with equipment and all that fun stuff. So, all right, guys, let's kick it back over to Marty, Mr. Producer, down in the ATL, and that's what I got for you guys in today's show. Thank you guys for all the encouragement. Thank you guys for all the prayers. Thank you guys for all the interest in LAL. Thank you for all of you guys that have just been sending encouraging messages since Wednesday's episode, knowing that I'm a little under the weather. Thank you to, well, actually, he did not want me to mention his name, but there was a gentleman that sent us a $200 Good Ranchers. Is that the name of the company? He sent me a $200 gift card to Good Ranchers for our Traeger grill to get some meats. That was unexpected. That was, and I'm really, like, when stuff like that comes in, I'm like, dude, like, I'm a nobody. Please don't send me stuff. Like, and he's like, dude, thank you for all the content. And he sent this like 2-paragraph email and all this other mess. And it was really, really appreciated. I was like, dude, like, no. And he's like, dude, 100%. Thank you. You guys know how it goes. And, but that was really kind. So thank you to the gentleman out there. He's like, please don't mention my name. I don't want to name drop. He goes, just take it. He goes, you guys have done so much for me. And he goes, he said, this goes to Mrs. Meat Sweats, which is I had it there to the last second, right? That was for Liz, Mrs. Meat Sweats. That's her the grill name that we named for the Traeger with the Wi-Fi thing. It's Mr. and Mrs. Meat Sweats, which is that's so stupid and so funny at the same time. Like when you come up with a name and you laugh like that right off the rip, you know it's the right one to go with, right? So Mr. and Mrs. Meat Sweats is our grill name. But any which way, the last thing I need right now is the Meat Sweats. Right now, I need to go drink like a bottle of cough syrup and some Dayquil, some NyQuil. I don't even know what else, right? But any which way, guys, nonetheless, if you want some encouragement, you guys wanted to get out of this stupor with me, let's go put on some other great shows as well. Kid Contractor Podcast, Green Industry Podcast. By the way, really, really good episode. I don't want this to drag on, but really, really good episode here with Tom Wheelwright just the other day. If you guys don't listen to the Wealth Ability Show, I shared it with my boy Bedell. I said, the future of real estate investing. That was a really good one. I know so many of you guys are into real estate investing and want to get into it, but any which way, go to the Wealth Ability, WEALTH Ability, Wealth Ability with Tom Wheelwright, the future of real estate investing. Really, really good episode that just dropped a couple days ago. All right, so that's what I got for you guys today. We will kick back it over to Marty, Mr. Producer, down in the ATL, and we look forward to catching up with you guys here on Monday. Have a great day.
Summer showers, dust that chokes, acres that just won't end. Exmark knows the job of a landscape professional isn't an easy one. That's why we've crafted a legendary line of mowers built to overcome any obstacle. So you're ready to close the deal and finish the job, like you always do. Cut from the same red metal as your Exmark mower, you aren't just good at this. You were built for this.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.